Hello students, now continuation with the last numerical, we are moving over here. Last two numericals in case of your topic, that is a quadrilateral over here. Now let us try to understand this numerical. Definitely these numericals are longer in length and definitely important for examination point of view. So please try to understand. And the question is, question number 8. ABCD is a trapezium. ABCD is a trapezium. So in the first case, they have given A, B, C, D is a trapezium. So ABCD is a trapezium. AB parallel to DC. They are already given AB parallel to DC. Next, point P and Q are the midpoints of the segment AD and segment BC respectively. They have given P is the midpoint of AB and Q is the midpoint of BC. It itself indicates that if B is the midpoint of AB, naturally you can say that AP is equal to PD, this is given, and Q is the midpoint of BC, means BQ is equal to QC. Now the main part is, here their part is that, then prove that PQ is parallel to AB. Then you have to prove that PQ is parallel to AB. So first target is PQ parallel to AB, and PQ is equal to half of AB plus DC. This PQ is half of addition of AB plus DC. This is the part that we are supposed to prove over here. Now in this case, the main part is that our target is we have to prove that PQ parallel to AB and PQ is half of AB plus DC. Here we have a reference of 3 parallel line, but we cannot directly apply it over here. And the main part is that they have given AB parallel to DC. As they have given AB parallel to DC, in the step first we are trying to prove that PQ is parallel to DC. If PQ is parallel to DC, automatically we can say that DC is parallel to AB, and then finally we can reach PQ is parallel to AB. In this way we are moving over here. But in that case, from the reference of 9th standard, we have only one theorem, that is in terms of a triangle midpoint theorem. So here we are making some construction. Now what exactly construction that we are going to do? First of all, we are going to draw one line where a line passes from point A and Q over here. Next, we are going to extend DC up to this intersection point. Now, we are able to get a new point over here, and we are going to indicate this point by name or nomenclature as R over here. So, we are going to indicate this point R. As they have given PQ, we are also going to take a point R. Now one by one, try to understand over here the logic and the structure. In first case, I repeat, in first case, I am going to take these two triangles outside from the diagram so that you can easily understand the part. Now what I am going to take it? I am going to take aside a part of ABQ over here and RCQ outside from the diagram. So please pay attention the part or distribution in terms of breakup values which is available over here. One is a triangle ABQ, one is a triangle ABQ, and second is RCQ. Now, first of all, I am interested to show these two triangles in terms of a property as a congruent, but how? Pay attention. We know only one part. What is exactly? BQ is equal to QC. We know that BQ is equal to QC. They have given us. Also we know one additional part, that is angle BQA, or you can say AQB, means this angle formed over here must be congruent to RAB AQB must be congruent to RQC because these are nothing but a pair of vertically opposite angle which is over here. Now we know one side which is a congruent. We know one angle as a vertical opposite. Our third part is which side or which angle we are supposed to take. Now in that case, one part is that as AB parallel to DC, it indicates that AB must be parallel to DR because CR is a extended portion. So as CR is a extended portion, automatically AB parallel to CR, and in this case we can add one more angle over here, and that is nothing but property correlated with alternate angle. Means what? Here we can say that if AB parallel to CR, then BC act as a transversal, and in this case this angle ABC must be congruent to RCB, and these are nothing but alternate angle, by which we can show that these two triangle means triangle AQB and second RQC congruent by angle side angle test of congruency, or you can say ASA, test of congruency. So student, please pay attention. I am going to write all the steps properly in front of you so that you can easily understand the part. No doubt in that case of representation, make a proper structure for representation part. Now in the first step we have done some kind of a construction. We are going to give declaration about that because they are already given that ABCD is trapezium. So I am going to add some given part over here. First, ABCD is trapezium. They have given it, so I am going to write it as given. Also they have given AB parallel to DC, so I am going to write AB parallel to DC. They have given it, so again given. Now we have started a new modification, and that is nothing but construction, that I am going to add it over here. So draw a segment AQ, extend it up to outside the diagram. Draw AQ and extend up to R. Now up to R means what? Extend DC, join up to R. Also extend DC up to point R. So we can have a part. R is a point. When you are going to draw AQ, it reaches up to point R, and when you are going to extend DC, it gets joined at point R. Means it is a straight extension of DC up to point R. This modification you have done, which is not given, so you are going to write by construction. Now as you have declared all the parts over here, now we can declare about these two triangles. So basic part and modification that I have done over here. Now next part is here, second part that I am going to start over here from the respective two triangle. From this part I am entering into this two triangle. In triangle ABQ and RCQ, or you can also have angle AQB, then you can say RQC, whatever be sequence you are taking. I am going to take in triangle AQB and RQC. In triangle AQB and RQC, AQB and in triangle RQC. Now first part over here, as Q is the midpoint of BC, they have given, therefore we can have BQ equal to CQ. Here Q is the midpoint of BC, Q is midpoint of BC. They have given, so I am going to write it as given. So we are able to get the part. BQ equal to CQ. Therefore, BQ is congruent to CQ. Next, angle AQB is congruent to RQC. Angle AQB is congruent to angle RQC. Here you will getting a reason, vertically opposite angles. AQB is congruent to RQC, vertically opposite angle. And third part, over here, I am going to write as AB parallel to DC, therefore AB parallel to DR. Also, AB parallel to DC, therefore AB must be parallel to DR. So we can write a property of alternate angles. Therefore, angle ABQ is congruent to RCQ. Angle ABQ is congruent to angle RCQ, and we can say the reason as alternate angles. Now, with the help of this part, first triangle, that is triangle AQB, is congruent to RQC by angle side angle test of congruency. Therefore, triangle AQB is congruent to triangle RQC by ASA test of congruency. Now here, systematically we are able to show that these two triangles are congruent. But if these two triangles are congruent, then we have another fundamentals which will be get generated. What exactly? If these two triangles are congruent, then you can say first part, AQ must be congruent to RQ. Reason, corresponding sides of congruent triangle. So you are getting the first part, AQ congruent to RQ or QR. Therefore, AQ is congruent to QR. I am going to call it as equation number 1 because it is required for me. And reason, corresponding sides of congruent triangle. This is the first part. Here I am able to get. Next, we are using this property, means AQ equal to RQ in the next successive part so that we can complete the part. Here I have written number 1 and number 2. So please write it properly, because whatever may be part we are getting as a conclusion from 2, I am going to use for the next proof. But as board size is limited, we have to extend this part. I am going to rough it and I am going to write third and fourth. So please write it. Or as AQ equal to QR, you can say that Q is the midpoint of AR. Therefore, Q is midpoint of AR. You can say AQ equal to QR or Q is the midpoint of AR. You have given it as equation number 1. Now, after completing these two triangles as a congruent over here and taking AQ equal to QR, we are again entering into the one part of a triangle, and that triangle is nothing but triangle ADR. Now again I am going to draw some more small diagram over here so that you can easily understand the part. That is nothing but ADR with the support of PQ. So ADR and this is PQ. Now remember one part, we already know that P is the midpoint of AD. So they are already given. Next, we have recently proved in equation 1, that is AQ equal to QR. So here AQ equal to QR. Naturally, P is the midpoint of AD, Q is the midpoint of AR. Line joining midpoint of two sides of a triangle, line joining the midpoint of two sides of a triangle must be parallel to third side, and it is half of the third side. So we are getting PQ is parallel to DR and PQ is half of DR. So with the help of equation 1 that recently we have written, we are going to complete this task over here. Starting from in triangle ADR. Here P is the midpoint of AD, Q is the midpoint of AR. Therefore PQ parallel to DR and PQ is half of DR. So third part, in triangle ADR over here. So the part is in triangle ADR, P is the midpoint of AD, or you can say that AP equal to PD. AP is congruent to PD. They have given us, so I am going to write it as a given. Next, AQ equal to QR. AQ is congruent to QR from equation 1. From equation 1. Therefore, in triangle ADR, PQ is parallel to DR and PQ is half of DR. Means it is midpoint theorem. Therefore, by midpoint theorem, here PQ is parallel to DR. PQ parallel to DR and PQ is half of DR. Now, this answer only give the entire correct answer for you. How? PQ is parallel to DR. We are able to prove that PQ parallel to DR. PQ parallel to DR. But this DR, so called as DC, this DC is parallel to AB or AB is parallel to DC. Naturally, if PQ is parallel to DC and DC is parallel to AB, then AB must be parallel to PQ. So we'll get the part. So here connected with this part I am going to write, but here your base, that is DC, is parallel to AB given. Now your so called as DC or DR, so called as DC or DR, DC is parallel to AB and this DC means DR is parallel to PQ, means you can say that PQ is parallel to AB or AB is parallel to PQ. So conclusion line I am going to write it. Therefore PQ is parallel to AB, PQ is parallel to AB. Your part become PQ is parallel to AB, and that is your first answer. Now, as we are able to prove that PQ is parallel to AB, again we are taking this same part from here and going to make a modification. As is an extended part, so I am going to write fourth one. As PQ is half of DR, as PQ is half of DR. Now one by one, here we are going to take additional part in case of modification. Half of DR. What is exactly meant by DR? That is nothing but DC plus CR. That is nothing but DC plus CR. Now again we are taking the reference of this triangle. In case of a part, if first triangle is congruent with second triangle, then AB must be equal to CR, corresponding sides of congruent triangle. So in one we are supposed to add this also, but at the written part we are not added it, you just add it over there. Naturally AB equal to CR, here I am going to add in a reason. as AB equal to CR. Reason, corresponding sides of congruent triangles. So here we can make a slant modification, that is half of DC plus CR. So DC, instead of writing CR, I am going to write it as a AB, and your entire answer will become PQ is equal to, therefore PQ is equal to half of AB plus DC. In this way, we can complete the entire proof. Now, continuation with the previous numerical, we are going to start numerical number 9, and the question is, ABCD is a trapezium. ABCD is a trapezium. AB parallel to DC. They are already given AB parallel to DC. Point M and N are midpoints of diagonal AC and DB respectively. So, we have to draw two diagonal. One is a diagonal AC and DB, diagonal having a midpoint like M and N. So, for the first diagonal, let us say AC, that I have drawn over here. Now, diagonal AC having a midpoint M. So, I am going to highlight this midpoint M over here. Next, there is a diagonal DB that I am going to draw over here. Now, here M is the midpoint of AC, means you can say CM equal to AM. This is the first part that you should know before starting the part in terms of a proof. Next, diagonal DB. Now, this diagonal DB having midpoint N, now I have drawn it over here. So, naturally, M is the midpoint of a diagonal AC and N is the midpoint of a diagonal BD. Then prove that MN is parallel to AB. We have to prove that MN is parallel to AB. Means our diagram will be modified over here and this become MN is parallel to AB. This part we have to prove over here. In this case, when we are going to take an application, how to prove that part? Remember it once again. We have a part ABCD. ABCD is a trapezium in which they are already given AB is parallel to DC. M is the midpoint of diagonal AC. M is the midpoint of a diagonal AC and N is the midpoint of diagonal DB. Then we have to prove that this MN, which is formed by joining midpoint of two diagonal, must be parallel to AB. In this case, when you are going to prove that part, please try to understand some concept. Here, to prove the part of a midpoint in terms of a theorem, we have to take a triangle. But unfortunately, you are not getting any kind of a triangle in case of a structure that you can prove that midpoint theorem and the concept of application of parallel line. Here, you can draw a new structure, logically you can say construction. Here either you are supposed to join D, M and join it up to this point, else you have another choice, you can join C, N up to this point. Anyway, you can draw this part. Here in this case, I am going to join D with M. This is the extra part, so I am going to call it as a construction. Now what is exactly construction? I am going to draw one line which is passes from point D as well as M and it is going to get intersect AB somewhere over here, and as they have given the nomenclature A, B, C, D, M, N, I am going to highlight or indicate this point as a P. Now the main part is that why we have done it or what is the target behind that. Here our main intention is that we are going to prove that MN parallel to PB, because if you have not drawn this structure or construction, we cannot create a triangle over here and we cannot able to prove this part. If we are able to prove that MN is parallel to PB, then we can say that MN is parallel to AB because PB is a part of a AB. Now, after we have completed a construction, then we have to understand one by one part. Means basic part that we are going to write it as it is over there. Next, again, if you want to prove that MN is parallel to PB, in that case, we know that N is the midpoint of BD. N is the midpoint of a BD. Somehow we have to prove that M is the midpoint of DP. M is the midpoint of a DP. If you want to prove that M is the midpoint of a DP, then you have to take that part of triangle into consideration. Means you have to prove that M is the midpoint of a DP. Here I am going to take two triangles. One is a triangle DMC, DMC, and second, by construction we have done PMA, PMA. These two triangles I am going to take outside, and with the help of that I am going to complete the structure or construction which we have done over here. Let us pay attention over here. What or which two triangle I am going to take outside. First DMP. So I am going to take this side over here. And the rest of the part that you very well know. Now please pay attention which two triangle I have taken outside. One is a DMC. Here it is a D, here it is a M, here it is a C. And here AMP. So A, M and P. Now one by one try to understand. In a given itself only they have given for a AC which is a diagonal, M is the midpoint. Means they have already given that these two sides are congruent. Means DM, CM equal to AM as M is the midpoint of AC. Next, we very well know that angle DCMD, this angle which is over here, and angle AMP, this angle which is over here, must be congruent because these two are nothing but vertically opposite angles. Now the next part, as they have given DC parallel to AB, they have given DC parallel to AP. DC parallel to AB means DC parallel to AP. Here this diagonal AC, this AC will be act as a transversal. Naturally we can say that angle DCM must be congruent to PAM, because now here this angle become alternate angles, and with the help of that you can show that these two triangles as a similar triangle, congruent triangles over here, and with the help of this part we are moving for the pattern. When these two triangles become congruent, we can say that DM equal to PM, DM equal to PM, and we can get M as a midpoint of DP, and that is our first target. So please pay attention, I am going to complete all the part in writing style. As per discussed previously, we are going to write first basic information from the diagram and second content of this diagram. So first basic. They have given ABCD. ABCD is trapezium. They have given it, so I am going to write it as given. Next part, if ABCD is a trapezium, they are also given AB is parallel to DC. I am also going to add that part. AB parallel to DC. Next, M is the midpoint of diagonal AC. M is midpoint of diagonal AC. Therefore, AM equal to CM. AM equal to CM. And second, N is the midpoint of a BD. N is midpoint of diagonal DB. Therefore, DN is equal to BM. BN is equal to DN. Now, this all part is given for us. So again, given. And last, we have done some construction. What is exactly? Draw DM up to point P, which is on AB. So here, draw segment DM and extend up to P. draw segment DM and extend up to P. This we have done as a construction, so I am going to write by construction. So this is nothing but all basic information that we have added over here from the reference of given. So we can use it in the second part. Now second part over here. Now in second part we are going to observe one by one part, that is of triangle. Now here it is very difficult to understand that part, that's why I have drawn isolated triangle in front of you. So here first part, in triangle CMD, in triangle CMD and in triangle AMP. So here in triangle CMD and in triangle AMP. Student, when I am going to write that part, you are supposed to draw a rough diagram on your paper so that whatever may be part I am writing in front of you, you can easily understand the part. Here, one by one part. Angle CMD. Angle CMD is congruent. Angle CMD is congruent to AMP. Angle AMP, reason vertically opposite angle. Also CM equal to AM. CM, or you can say segment CM is congruent to segment AM. They have given M as a midpoint, so I am going to write it as a given. And third part, angle DCM, angle DCM is congruent to PAM. Angle DCM is congruent to angle PAM, angle PAM, and reason alternate angles. Therefore, you can say that triangle CMD is congruent to AMP. Therefore, triangle CMD is congruent to triangle AMP by angle side angle, or you can say ASA, test of congruence. Now we are able to show that triangle CMD is congruent to AMP by angle side angle, test of congruency. But when two triangles are congruent, their respective side and respective angle must be congruent. So we are able to get one part, DM is equal to PM. I repeat, DM is equal to PM. Sec DM is congruent to sec PM, and reason become corresponding sides of congruent triangles. Or you can modify it as DM is equal to MP, DM is equal to MP, or logically you can say that M is the midpoint of DP. Therefore, M is midpoint of DP. Here I am giving it as equation number 1 because I have to use this reference DM equal to MP or M is the midpoint of DP in case of a next part. Once again student, I have completed first and second part over here. Again I have to rough it and I have to write third part from the main diagram. So please make a copyright of this and be ready for the next part in terms of diagram and answer. Now please pay attention. Already in the second part, we have to take a new diagram over here in consideration, that is DPB and MN. For proper understanding, I have drawn it over here, DPB and MN over here. Already remember one part. N is the midpoint of a DB. N is the midpoint of a DB. They have already given. Means we already know that N is the midpoint of a DB. Because in our diagram, DB is a diagonal and N is a midpoint they have given us. Next part. Recently from our 2, we are able to prove that this M is the midpoint of DP. Means DM is equal to MP. Naturally, in triangle DPB, M is a midpoint of a DP, N is a midpoint of DB. Naturally, MN is a segment joining by two midpoints of a sides of a triangle. A line joining midpoint of a two sides of a triangle must be parallel to third side and half of it. But we are interested only of parallelism. So I am going to write that part over here. So our first and second part is completed. So our third part. In triangle DPB, in triangle DPB, one by one. N is a midpoint of diagonal DB. N is midpoint of diagonal BD, diagonal DB. They have given it, so I am going to write it as given. Automatically we can have DN is equal to NB. So DN is congruent to NB. Also from second part or your equation 1 that we have written, also we know that M is the midpoint of DP. Also M is midpoint of DP. Means you can say DM equal to MP. DM is congruent to MP from 1. Naturally, a line joining midpoint of a two side must be parallel to third side. Therefore, MN parallel to PB. Therefore, MN parallel to PB by midpoint theorem. By midpoint theorem. If MN is parallel to PB, MN parallel to PB, I repeat, MN parallel to PB, naturally MN parallel to AB. Therefore, MN is parallel to AB, and that is your required answer. That they have expected. Prove that MN parallel to AB, and that is your answer. So student, please observe it carefully. I have written first, second in a previous part, and third that I have written over here. Please remember this answer by this diagram technique. Please remember this answer by diagram technique. In examination, you can systematically write the answer with the help of this technique. And in this way, we have completed this chapter. Thank you very much.